Confidence is a common topic in the self-help world. People want to be confident. I do. I had a vague idea of what it was, but didn't quite fully understand it. One day I was given a book voucher by the company I was working for at the time. I went to my local bookstore, not really knowing what I wanted to get, but I noticed this bright yellow book by Rob Young called Confidence, the Art of Getting Whatever You Want. Little did I know that this was going to be the catalyst propelling me into the world of self-help. I began reading the book that night, grasping the concepts as best I could. The book was explaining things like understanding my values, something of which I seriously overlooked at the time and would pick up on many years later. Thinking about affirming and repeating affirmations, and drawing on other resources. One of the ways in which Rob Young explains confidence is this. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's about taking action in spite of how we may feel, in the knowledge that action will eventually help us to conquer how we feel. One of the ideas is to use affirmations to help you improve your confidence, like saying to yourself, I am confident, or I am strong, or I am worthy. And I can understand this, it seems logical, particularly if you're beating yourself up with negative self-talk a lot of the time. However, this didn't work for me. No matter how many times I said to myself I was confident, it didn't make me feel any more certain about myself, and it didn't help me in certain situations. It just didn't work for me. Now, I think affirmations can work for some people, but for me, it just felt like I was trying to trick myself into thinking I was confident, when really all I was doing was reminding myself of how much I was lacking in that confidence. From my understanding, quite simply, confidence is being certain about something. That's it, in its most simplest form. However, it does have its nuances. For instance, say someone thinks that 5 plus 5 equals 12. They feel confident about it, certain in their logic, adamant that it is correct. Yet when someone explains to them that the answer is actually 10, regardless of how confident they felt, they were wrong. And this raises an important point that when you're feeling and thinking confident, it doesn't always equate to being right. And this applies to the opposite as well. You may be feeling anxious and doubtful most of the time. Even though you know that 5 plus 5 equals 10, you may not feel confident about it. It's easy to understand why we want to be confident and feel confident all the time. Yet even when we're wrong or unsure and feeling anxious about it, it's okay. It's part of learning and can actually lead to feeling and being more confident. If you're a shy person, someone may suggest to you that you just need more confidence. But more confidence in what? Let's say you, being the shy person, is hanging out with new people. You're feeling nervous, and when you communicate, you got closed body language, and you feel a bit choked in the throat when you speak, and you're avoiding eye contact. Now, these people may judge you and think that you're just generally not a confident person. It's easy to associate confidence with people who are extraverted, socially outgoing, assertive. However, when a person is introverted, they're very selective about when they talk, and also they ask for what they want. They can be seen as quietly confident. You may be shy when meeting new people, but perhaps you're a professional skydiving enthusiast. You've been doing it for years, trained for it, and you love the excitement and the anxiety of it. Would never say no to jumping out of a plane. Now, I may not consider you confident meeting new people. However, I'd absolutely class you as confident at skydiving. Why? Because of your extensive training, your knowledge of it, and you've experienced it many times. This all points to someone being more certain about something. This example recognizes that confidence isn't an overall attribute as such. It can be dependent on someone's experience and knowledge in certain situations. Judgment of someone's confidence or lack thereof is usually sort of judged by general social situations, but this misses so much out. It's far better to judge someone's confidence based on a certain topic or area. It's okay to accept that you'll be confident in some areas of your life and not so in others. It took me a while to come to terms with this. I was driven by a perfectionistic mindset. I still am in some ways, but the problem was I kept feeling I need to be confident in everything, otherwise I wasn't good enough. This is obviously a recipe for disaster and contributed to more chronic stress. And there's no wonder why we are drawn to confidence, to being confident. It brings with it that feeling of calmness, strength, steadiness. Everything is congruent, your mind, your body, your emotions. But again, just because you feel confident doesn't mean that you're right. However, that feeling still manifests itself. Psychological anxiety is born from doubt, which by its very nature is the opposite of confidence. Biological or chemical imbalances in the body can bring that same uneasy feeling of anxiety. This version is unlikely to be resolved by changing beliefs or improving thinking strategies, because the root issue is in the body, it's not in the mind. And I often flitted between thinking my ailments were either psychological or biological, and I pursued different avenues depending on what I was looking into at the time. But of course, I was chronically stressed, so my default feeling was that of anxiety. It's like I was trying to build a solid foundation within, but it kept being earthquakes regularly occurring that was just crumbling it. But body and mind are inextricably linked. Whatever the origin of anxiety, it's telling you that something is not quite right in your current experience. If you want it to be resolved, then you need to understand the root issue, find an appropriate remedy, and then use it. And then the confidence should come back. Taking time to understand more about ourselves is an avenue toward more confidence. Have you questioned anything you've learned from your upbringing? Do you understand your likes and dislikes, your values and your standards? Do you understand why you choose the clothes that you do, or why you pursue certain hobbies? By thinking about these things, we can come to more definitive conclusions about ourselves, and it can help create more certainty in our mind, and therefore can lead to being more confident when making better decisions. I hope this video has been thought-provoking. If you have enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I'd love to hear your comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.